Market conditions shifting back to mildly bearish in this bull market, having a little bit of strength here in this what appears to be a potential counter trend rally, but it also could be an advancement and continuation of the overall market and current rally, where we've moved back off of the extreme levels, momentum back up into this bearish trending zone, and also on the breadth indicator finding some strength, really just holding steady about where it was at. Sentiment indicator also bouncing pretty aggressively off of some of those lows right here. Let's take a look at the buy-sell ratio. Buy-sell ratio also sitting right here at 0.35, and so still less than 1, still showing weakness overall, but again, we're bouncing off of these deeply oversold levels off of this is S&P 500. We've seen that also on NASDAQ, and volatility coming down now off of those extreme levels. So really now just coming off of extreme levels, and we're seeing that in S&P 500 here as well, working back up now, holding up above that 50% retracement, going to run into significant resistance right here at 536, which is essentially right where we're at right here. So it'll be an interesting day to see if we can run into and then break through that 536 range, or if we end up getting rejected at that level. We'll certainly want to keep an eye on those locations around that 536 range on S&P 500, and continue to see a little bit of strength here in the triple Qs, although same story right here. We're running into that 554 range, and or excuse me, 454 range. That's going to create some resistance for S&P 500. If we take a look at the bond market, we've been seeing TLT continue to strengthen, having a pretty sharp sell-off after that big uptrend that we saw earlier in the week. Last week, we're also seeing SHY, which is holding up in the momentum zone pretty nicely here. Those shorter term bonds a little bit stronger than those long term bonds. That's what we want to see. We want to continue to see those shorter term bonds strengthening. That means that short end of that yield curve is continuing to drop to the downside, and that really is still what's ultimately controlling the market right here. If we take a look at the sectors, seeing really still mixed signals across the board on sectors. The strong signals that we're seeing in financials, technology, and utilities. Utilities is still in that upper range, and holding, that's looking the most constructive as far as any kind of retracement, holding the support area. Utilities, interesting price activity right there as well. Commodities, gold, still holding in the momentum zone and getting a little bit of strength here in the last couple of days. Silver, not so much, still quite a bit of weakness there in that silver pattern. And then also USO is making some small attempts, 1.5%, 1.4%, to get back up there, move back up into that hold range. And so working from these deeply oversold levels and fighting to get back this direction. It's got some resistance level before it ultimately gets back into some momentum, but it is working its way that direction. If we take a look at the muscle stocks group right here, we've got some medical drug names, Summit Therapeutics, symbol SMMT, looking nice right here, bouncing off that 236 location, and also seeing some big gaps here on a couple of stocks. Sweet Green SG, which has been a nice stock moving higher, had a big gap here on real big volume, up 33%, and also seeing several other names. NRG, which is a nice energy utility name in that muscle stock group for today. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.